Welcome to the Love from the South podcast, episode 28. What is up, Caleb? Another beautiful day on God's green earth.
Yes. We are so blessed on this day.
Yeah, for real.
I'm doing great, honestly.
Another day in Daddy's Trump's paradise, bro.
Yeah, truly. I've been consuming a lot of Trump media because I just finished my TikTok video, which is exciting to announce on YouTube. Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It was fun to make. And there was a lot of breaking news about it after I fucking released it, so that's annoying. But
yeah, that sucks.
It is what it is. Well, what are you up to, man?
Dude, I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Fucking just been grinding the fuck out of that game. Quite literally all week.
Did you ever play Assassin's Creed Revelations?
No. Is that the which one is that?
That's like one of the first ones that was actually good. It's the only one I've ever played. I thought it was awesome, but
I love Assassin's Creed games. Like I've always been a fan of stealth, and you know they have a new one coming out soon. Hell
yeah, man! I like how they actually make new features for that game instead of just making the same. Oh god, game dude,
it's so fun to play. Like it truly has the best of it's like a MMORPG. You know, levels. You know, fucking class system, skills. You know, fucking your choices matter. Like it has fucking everything somehow. Yeah.
Telltale game. Point-and-click adventure.
Yeah, for real. You can fucking fuck men and women. That's my favorite part.
Yes.
Yeah.
All inclusive access. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but apparently originally the game.
Sorry.
Yeah, apparently originally in the game, it was you're only able to play a woman, and apparently, you know, of course, gamers got really upset, so they had to make it that you can play a man.
Woman in my historical fiction game?
Yeah, it sucks because apparently like the girls' voice lines are way better because like they have more time.
Well, why didn't you play as a female then?
I didn't know at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I learned only after I was like already like 60 hours like into the game.
No.
So yeah, unfortunately, but before we get into what we're going to talk about today, if you probably just heard that banger ass intro. It was made by one of my good friends. His name is Arya. Doesn't have a Twitter, but check him out on SoundCloud. Tweeted about him the other day, so you probably can catch his link there. And not only that, but
thanks so much for making that. It's awesome. It's a fucking banger. I love it.
Oh yeah, dude, it's so fucking good. I love it. I just keep on listening to the intro part and just hypes me the fuck up.
I never thought someone would make intro music specifically for our podcast, man.
Hey, Left in the South is gonna take over the world soon. You know, especially with that, you know, our Antifa connections and that George Soros, you know, income coming in.
Yeah.
But other than that, I want to also thank our Patreons, Grant980, James, and Peyton. We appreciate your constant support, and you know, I was able to eat this week because of these this Patreon money, man.
Yeah, my McDonald's chicken nuggets fund is really subsidized by this Patreon money. So thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. And other than that, you know, always give us a rating on Apple if you have the time. Follow us on Twitter if you haven't already. And let's get into it, dude. The first topic of the day I want to talk about is Blizzard workers. They're sharing their salaries and they're revolting over the wage disparity going on at Blizzard Entertainment.
Dude, Blizzard just cannot catch a break recently, man. They're always in the news about some dumb shit they're doing.
Yeah, for real. Like, you know, their CEO being in Epstein's black book and other, you know, like, God, they're always doing some shit, like dumb shit, you know, like instead of making a new Diablo.
Oh, Mobile. Holy shit, I forgot about that even.
Big L. Yeah. I mean, I love playing Hearthstone. Recently, I actually hit Legend in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
For the very first time. That was actually very hype. I was happy. Yeah, I was happy as fuck, dude.
Dude, I had a big smile on my face. I never thought you'd pull it off, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I knew I could hit Legend, dude. I was just fucking like I just needed a good luck
so
streak.
Close, but
it's because I like playing fun decks. Like I like playing like Highlander, Mage. I like playing like the Rogue one. Like I like playing fun decks.
Yeah, but when you want to have a high win rate in that game, you're not allowed to have fun.
Yeah, for real. It's like aggro only.
Yeah.
Oh god, dude, I fucking hate aggro players.
Hell yeah. All my
Like it requires no brain. Like your brain could be smoother than like the surface of a melon, bro, and you can still win with aggro decks.
Hell yeah. Hey man, it's good game design, you know?
Yeah.
I love taking 30 damage on my turn. I mean on the enemy's turn.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, but the wage disparity, I think it's good. For some reason, in the United States, it's very taboo to talk about how much you make.
Yeah, why do you think that is, by the way?
I think it probably started like, you know, from the boss. Like the boss never gonna tell you how much the boss makes, right? And probably just like followed down.
Yeah, I think it was on purpose. Like I really think the higher
for sure, it's definitely on
did
purpose.
That on purpose. Yeah, because they know like people talk about their salaries. I mean, this happened to me at work. I used to work. I guess I can say now, right? Because I quit. I used to work at Kroger. Okay, you know, popular fucking marketplace.
I hope you don't go back there, dude. They're gonna fucking.
No, I definitely won't. But my coworkers and I openly talked about our salaries, and like my manager was only making like $1 more than me, but he was working like 60 hours a week, and just like working way more than me. It was terrible.
Yeah, for real. I talk about the wage at my workplace all the time.
Yeah, and I think it's important for us as like leftists to be open about that stuff and kind of try to break the taboo, because like the only person that's embarrassed about it should be you. You know, because other people shouldn't be embarrassed by how much you make.
I don't even think you should be even embarrassed by what you make. Like,
right, that's what I'm saying.
Exploited, right?
Right, exactly. I think that we should stop being embarrassed about it, first of all, and try to help other people realize it's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Yeah, because they're also being exploited.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
but
I think
speaking of game companies, and wage disparities and labor issues, did you hear about this wild thing with Riot where they fucking try to team up with Saudi Arabian oil tycoons for the fucking Neom advanced city shit, and all of the the day that they announced it, all of their talent, like all of the people who host the LCS, all of the people who commentate, every single employee that works on that side of Riot refused to work until they stopped partnership with Saudi Arabia, because they like obviously were morally fucking against it, you know, which was amazing. Yeah, really fucking amazing.
Big pug.
Great example of what collective action can get us as workers, you know?
Yeah, dude. The company is nothing without its workers.
Exactly. Especially when it's like forward facing people like talent on, you know, broadcasting. You know, imagine fucking Al Sharpton is like, I'm not gonna fucking do any more broadcasts until you stop doing this. Like, obviously they're gonna do it. They have to. They have no choice.
Yeah,
it's really great for those guys, and I'm really proud of them. And I thought it was amazing. Riot was forced to drop the sponsorship within one day of announcing it, which is just But it's such a tone deaf fucking thing to do in the first place, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I'd recently like don't watch as much of like competitive esports as I used to, like probably like a year ago, 2 years ago. Like, I love it though. It's so hype. It's like so hype to be excited for like your team wanting to win, and like you're rooting for them, and you see them like they're climbing through the major, and like, you know, they finally get to the grand stage. You know, you've been to 2 majors, right?
I have,
the air must be different, bro.
I've actually been to 3 majors, by the way.
Really?
It is different. Honestly, it's amazing. It's a great experience, and
you're around people who love the game as much as you do.
Right. Yeah, it's actually so surreal, because like when you're sitting at home watching Twitch or something, you feel like not alone. Like I usually watch it with you guys or whatever, and we're all talking shit with each other, and it's a good time. But when you're in a stadium with like 2,000 to like 15,000 people, and they're just fucking erupting, and your ears are ringing, and your fucking body is vibrating from all the fucking screaming going on around you. It's a totally different experience, honestly. Like, everyone should do it at least once in their life, I think, for a sport that they like.
I mean, who knows if we're ever going to be able to have that anymore in the future, you know?
Yeah, at this point.
But hey, bro, you should have done it. You should have done it when you were able to.
Yeah.
If you had the income.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I mean, LANs are fun too. I went to Tampa LAN one time. God, that was fun. That was fun as hell. Like, it's different energy, like playing with you know, fucking people. I've never met these people, but dude, you know, they were excited, you know, just to play the fucking game.
Yeah.
Like every round we won, we're like, yeah, you know, we're fucking screaming and shit.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. It's like you can't even control it when you're sitting next to your teammates and like your teammate hits a 6 shot. You literally can't help it. You have to say, nice.
Yeah. For real, dude. And like gymnasium,
I'm actually undefeated on LAN, by the way. I'm undefeated on LAN. I've never lost
you win?
a LAN.
Yeah, you won.
Yeah, the only LAN I've been to, I won. So that's pretty good.
Oh God. For real, dude. CS, dude. Fuck. I love CS.
Yeah, I heard that you recently tried to play again and you sucked ass.
Yeah, God, I was so bad. Like my game was lagging, would lag randomly too. It was like pissing me off, and like I had someone on the other team like shit talking me, like, even though I was like on the bottom of the leaderboard. On the other team. Like, oh my God. Damn. It sucked, but you know, after fucking with the settings, I finally got my game to run fucking stable. So,
it's like riding a bike, man. You never forget. You lose some of the muscle memory, but you never forget.
God, dude, if the weapons feel so different. Like I thought, like my gun was like fucking aiming where the fuck it wanted to, but I think they like changed like the guns like look different when you shoot it.
Yeah, I haven't read the patch notes. I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither. I haven't played the game forever.
Yeah,
fuck.
I always thought like once Valorant came out, it was gonna be dead. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, for me. Me too. I thought Valorant was gonna kill CS, but I guess there's a lot of people who want to make Valorant like CS.
Maybe someday. Yeah, who knows? You're right. Yeah, maybe someday.
Yeah, turn off the abilities for one day.
True.
See what happens. Yeah, what do you think about them trying to do that deal with Saudi Arabia? Do you think what if they wanted to?
Really stupid.
So what was the deal? Like exclusive tournaments there, or like what?
Yeah, I think they were gonna host a tournament or like a Worlds or some kind of tournament, you know, in this new futuristic Saudi Arabian city. Because Saudi Arabia right now is trying to make this city called Neom. It's like a future city where they're gonna make it's basically for rich people who own slaves to go and live in a fucking city, you know, and hoard their wealth.
Yeah, chrome everywhere, chrome buildings, chrome cars.
And they're trying to drum up hype around that and get people to fucking come and bring their oil money and their pedophile fucking rings, you know, allegedly to Neom. So
their video games,
extremely tone deaf on Riot's part to fucking even attempt to make a deal. It's absolutely stupid.
Yeah, it is. It is like it came out of nowhere too. It felt like it's very weird. Yeah,
especially considering all the bad press they've been getting recently about how they treat women, how their work environment is, for them to do that after all that, it just really shows that they're fucking dumb. The people who are doing PR and the people who are making business decisions are totally different.
Dude, they don't fucking care, bro. As long as it's bringing that fucking dollar, bro.
Yeah. The only reason they pulled out is because the talent decided to strike. That really shows us. That's why I brought it up, because it really shows us that shit works. They had no choice but to say no. Imagine if none of the talent knew about it or did anything about it. They would still have this deal, and even if the fans hated it, it would still be there.
It would still be there.
But because they struck, we won or whatever. Exactly. So hell yeah.
Yeah, talking about fucking Chinese-owned companies, dude. TikTok. It's got 45 days left. I know you've made a video, so tell me everything. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
What's going on with the TikTok world?
It's blowing up. The president, so he randomly basically said, not randomly, back last year, late last year, there were rumors of people talking about TikTok and potential national security concerns. I know what's his name? I know Marco Rubio was mentioning his concerns about it, and a lot of other conservative and Democrats came on board, basically saying we need to investigate this Chinese app, or else we're not gonna they're stealing our data and selling it to China. Total fucking bullshit, by the way, no evidence. And so basically the president is buying into this red herring and has decided that he needs to ban the app. But then out of nowhere, he basically says, okay, well, I won't necessarily ban you, but you need to sell to an American company. So
Microsoft.
So
Microsoft's coming in.
Yeah. ByteDance is the company that owns TikTok. They're being forced to sell the property. They have no choice in the matter. If they don't do it, Trump is going to ban them from the country. So very fucking insane. Economic imperialism at its finest. Literally bullying them out of the country, forcing them to sell. It reminds me of, have you heard the story of like back in the Roman times when they had firefighters, and the firefighters would come and basically say, I want to buy this property from you for like 10% of what it's worth. And if the person refused, they would just let it burn. It reminds me a lot about that.
I haven't heard about that. That is fucking, that's fucked.
Yeah, that's how like this guy that was rich in Rome basically like scooped up a bunch of cheap property. And like there was rumors around Rome that he was the one starting the fires, which of course he was. Of course like, he fucking was.
Let me buy your shit or I'll burn it down.
Yeah. Crazy.
Shit, that is fucked. Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about that? Like, do you agree with this national security concern? Like, do you ever wonder about like if China is getting your data or anything? Does that concern you?
No, dude. I mean, they're just mad that China's getting the data directly and they don't have to buy it from someone else.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, they're just mad because it's not them selling the data to China. Yeah. They're just mad that China's coming directly for it. They're cutting out the middleman.
Yeah, they're like, why? Yeah, for real. And they mad.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I mentioned this.
Make a popular app in our country. No.
No, stop it. Stop harvesting our data. That's our data. But yeah, I don't know. I mentioned this in the video I made, but the fact that like a lot of American companies as early as 10 years ago were revealed to have been working with the US government to literally release private encrypted information from private servers about people, personal information about people, things like emails and videos, video chats. They turned them over to the American government. Microsoft did that in 2011. Google did that with search histories of their users over the years. And of course, Edward Snowden is the one that revealed all of this to us. And I don't know,
random dude.
Yeah, that guy no one knows, right?
Yeah.
Still in Russia, by the way. Still has not been allowed to see his family ever since then.
Fucked.
It's so fucked.
And he's sad. He says that he wants to go back, and he says that he loves his country.
Yeah,
still.
Of course he does. Why would you do something like that if you didn't love your country? You only do something like that when you do. And Obama, by the way, spineless fucking coward for not pardoning him. For not pardoning him, he is a fucking piece of shit coward, by the way. And also, I don't know if you've heard of this person. I want to bring this up because I researched this today.
Yeah.
I was researching about this person, Chelsea Manning. I don't know if you've heard of this.
No, never heard of them.
Person. She's a former military member who, much like Edward Snowden, like whistle blew a lot of military secrets about the Iraq War. And including like videos of American soldiers committing war crimes and like bombing innocent people. And she leaked all of this information to WikiLeaks and got arrested. She spent like 11 years in prison without trial and reportedly was like denied medical care. She was put into solitary confinement for like weeks at a time where she literally at one point went on a hunger strike for 5 days and threatened to starve herself to death because of her conditions were so insanely torturous that she would rather starve to death than live in the prison that they were keeping her in.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Yes, exactly, bro. My blood was fucking boiling. And then recently, by the way, she got out of prison and the US government subpoenaed her to testify before a grand jury about information about WikiLeaks, and she refused and said, I told you all the information that I know back when you arrested me all those years ago. I have nothing more to say. I'm not going to come and speak before, people about this. They arrested her again and charged her $500,000 in fines after she had been in prison for like years. So of course she wasn't working, had no income, no money, and then they charged her $500,000 in fines, and then she tried to kill herself again after that because of the fucking situation she was in. Dude. And I don't want to end it on such a negative note, so I will say a lot of people started a GoFundMe and managed to raise all of the money for all of her court fees plus more for her to live on. So a lot of socialists and leftists really came to her aid there, just to be a little more positive about it. But it reminded me so much of the Edward Snowden story. Like if he had gotten caught before he managed to flee to Russia, he would be fucking dead or suicided somewhere with 2 bullets in the fucking head. It is so fucked up. Our country is a menace.
Yeah, that is fucked up. Jesus Christ. And I think going back to the original topic of, Microsoft able to snatch up TikTok for a cheap buck. Not only that, but the U.S. government thinks they deserve a cut of that shit.
Oh my God. Trump, yeah. What was it that he said? He was like, fucking finder's fee, right? He was like, I think we should get a huge cut of it because we're the one who's facilitating the sale. It's like, bro, you're fucking threatening to ban them from the country. They have no choice. But imagine being Microsoft right now. Imagine being Microsoft. They're like, I'll give you $100,000 for TikTok, and ByteDance is like, but we have a yearly revenue of over $500 million, and they're like, oh well, in 45 days, how much revenue are you gonna have then?
Yeah, here's the exact quote: "The United States should get a very large percentage of that price because we're making it possible," Mr. Trump said.
Wow. Fucking ridiculous.
like what if they could Microsoft could be so aggressive because if you insulted us, you're getting banned anyway, so
they have no choice. Yeah,
they might as well recuperate and give us some money.
Yeah, if you want to learn more about this topic, by the way, a great author to read is Noam Chomsky. He talks a lot about this idea of economic imperialism, how a country like the United States doesn't even need to invade you to be an imperial power because they can do things like what we're doing right now to TikTok,
Marxist
force them to sell, take over. Yeah. Yes, he actually did. Yeah, David and I were talking earlier about how we love memeing about how Marx predicted everything. We're just gonna start saying that to everything. Yeah,
for real, dude. It's so fucking funny.
Next time Lily tells me it's raining, I'm gonna be like, Marx predicted this.
Marx predicted that it will rain on this exact day.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh yeah. Very prescient man. A lot of foresight.
But
and foreskin. Allegedly.
Yeah, I still have all mine, of course.
Yeah. Speaking of Chinese news, though, have you heard about this weird shit about seeds getting sent from China?
Yeah, I heard about this. I first heard about this from your girlfriend, actually.
Yeah, same. And I had never heard about it before, but now it's a pretty big news story. What the fuck? What is this exactly?
I don't know. Apparently, according to the article that we were looking at before we started recording, was that apparently it's some sort of scam and that they make money off of it somehow. But I don't know how they get money off of sending seeds for free, with the packaging, sending to that. How?
Yeah, how could you possibly make money by sending free products to people? I really don't understand.
Yeah, because they were saying it was a review. What was they were getting fake reviews and shit. What?
Yeah, right. And
how?
The government was also saying don't plant them. It might be a fucking invasive species of fucking plant, which I guess is true to an extent, but it's a corona spreading
plant.
Yeah.
Don't
I don't know. If I were
seeds.
A seed selling startup company, I probably would not just send random fucking seeds across the world. It's strange though. I wonder if there's something else to it. If there is some kind of conspiracy.
I want to plant one now.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what they are. If you have
these mysterious seeds, go ahead and just send it to our P.O. box.
Yeah. Actually, my girlfriend is a botanist, so actually do this. If you have any of these seeds and you're listening, mail it. Actually, message me on Twitter. I legitimately will give you my address, and you can mail me these seeds. I swear to God, I will. Just message me on Twitter.
At Dougly Thinks.
Yeah, at Dougly Thinks.
But we can do an update, a weekly update on Twitter of the plant too.
Yeah.
Damn, that's some good ass content. If you have one of these seeds, fucking send it now.
Yeah, you can come on the pod too if you want.
Yeah. Say what the fuck you want. We just want your seed.
I don't have much more to say about these seeds. I honestly have no idea what the fuck. I don't know what to say. I mean, the review thing seems reasonable, I guess. But again, I don't understand how you make money from it.
I just don't. Yeah, seeds.
Yeah, who knows?
But fuck, dude. But earlier we were talking about the Epstein, right? How the Blizzard CEO, was on that black book. A lot of stuff going on with Epstein. That huge doc got released. That we skimmed over. A lot of
the Ghislaine Maxwell stuff. Yeah.
A lot of
not a whole lot of new information, but a lot of new details that we didn't know.
And we know Clinton, Bill Clinton. He went to the island with two girls.
Two young girls.
I wonder what he did.
What age exactly? I wonder, because I've always noticed that these articles never say they will never say something like Bill Clinton had sex with an underage kid or something. They always say young. He cohorted with young females. They're so scared to get sued for defamation.
I mean, they don't want to get killed.
Yeah, yeah. Their fucking Clinton crime family is gonna come for them.
Yeah, for real.
Oh yeah, and now they're coming for me too after I said that.
Yeah. Cut that shit out.
Yeah, for real. But I don't know. Is there new news about Epstein or what's going on?
Oh yeah, I mean, I want to talk about the federal judge spoke out basically of the gunman who killed her son. I was relating to that because as we were both talking about it before the podcast, they don't talk about the Epstein file. They just talk about how this judge is related to the Epstein case. Which is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like I think we talked about this on the last episode, but I'm not 100% sure. Did we talk about did we say what happened? Basically, a guy came and shot a judge's son in his home. And the judge has connections to Epstein.
He was a anti-feminist lawyer. Apparently had a vendetta against this judge, and
I just
allegedly killed someone else.
Oh, I didn't hear that. What the hell?
Oh, you were saying before we were talking, they allegedly killed someone else in California, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. Because you're right. But I think that story is very convenient. It seems to me it's weird that all these people that are directly connected to Epstein, literally the prosecuting lawyer in this case, are getting killed, or the prosecuting lawyer's son anyway, are literally getting murdered in their homes, or dying in car accidents and shit, or suiciding themselves. Yeah. It's such a weird coincidence, and I don't know if I believe this story about him having a personal vendetta and being an anti-feminist, and he hates women, so he's going to take it out on this female judge because he has a grudge against them. Do you believe that?
I mean, it's I don't know. It's 2020, dude. Yeah. Who fucking knows? And there's also an asteroid, coming to Earth. So I mean,
in a million years, right?
Yeah. So I mean, what
that pissed me off.
I can believe anything.
David pissed me off right before this episode. David sent me an article, and he's like, "Yo, there's a motherfucking asteroid coming for Earth," and I was like, "Holy shit, there's an asteroid coming for Earth!" I looked at the article. This motherfucker sent me an article about an asteroid that's coming a million years from now. Literally, the age of the dinosaurs could come and pass, and this asteroid still wouldn't fucking hit the Earth.
Yeah, bro. Human 2 will already be out.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this a million years into the future, first of all, yo, what's up?
Yo, there's an asteroid coming, dude. And first of all, how'd you get a hold of this fucking ancient technology?
Yeah, this MP3.
Yeah, shit. God, we have hours and hours of our voices on the internet. We are in the digital space.
How long do you think that's realistically gonna last?
I mean, as long as fucking electricity is a thing, dude.
Well, but what if we make new technology that can't read the old stuff? Do you think it would fade away? What about VHS technology today? I'm sure there's a lot of home videos and stuff on VHS, but if I went to someone's house and stole their home videos, it's not like I could play them. I don't have a fucking VHS player.
Yeah, no, but it's not like
they're not lost though. They're still there.
It's not like you won't be able to find one.
If you were interested, you could easily either buy a VHS or make one, right?
Yeah, if you really fucking wanted to. I don't know, dude. The future.
This Epstein shit. It's it's never going away. These people are just gonna keep dying. Nobody's gonna get arrested.
Because it's important. It's important people. I mean, these are important people who are a lot of serious allegations. Someone's killed themselves. I remember when Ghislaine Maxwell got arrested. Somebody in California fucking killed themselves.
Oh right, yeah, yes, exactly. Like I said, if you look at the suicide rate of the general population compared to the suicide rate of Jeffrey Epstein's friends, a sociologist would be fucking sweating at those numbers, man.
Yeah, for real.
It's not normal.
The death rate is fucking way too high.
Yeah.
Oh god, Epstein, the Clintons, please don't come after us. Is all I can ask.
I'm nobody, man. What can I do?
Yeah, for real. We don't have that many people watching. I know you're listening now. I saw a van parked outside my house earlier. Sorry. But on to the next topic.
Exactly.
I want to talk about the most racist town in the United States, Harrison, Arkansas.
Go ahead.
Fuck, dude. True.
Why do you say it's the most racist?
So recently there was a video done. I forgot who the creator was, but I'll put it in now if I remember to do it in post.
Okay.
And so basically this he made a video of basically he's holding a Black Lives Matter sign, and he's going to Walmart, standing near the side of the road, and you get so many racist people saying come on, dude, you're white. He's like, oh, you know, like just lots of white nationalist shit. Yeah, it was a white dude. A lot of white nationalist shit.
Black Lives Matter.
And that's not saying anything, and just holding. And then people were just like berating him, basically like calling him like a race traitor. Just a lot of just racist ass bigotry.
Yeah,
and like it's like every like car gets a turn like that fucking passes him, like just calling him names and shit.
What the fuck? What, people are just stopping to like
talk shit? I think Harrison, Arkansas is like the headquarters for the fucking KKK.
Oh, actually?
I believe so.
They still have headquarters these days, man. Hey, dude, bro. Trump's gonna ban TikTok before he bans the motherfucking KKK, man. SMH my head.
And I just think it's fucked up. I don't get how these communities are formed where there's so many white nationalists just in one, like a whole town. Like they have a billboard like talking about like white power and shit like that. Like,
oh, I saw that billboard for that like racist podcast that was like a, you know, white power podcast or whatever. Very absurd. Do you think that these people are actually putting themselves in danger? Like, would a person come?
I would be afraid if this person was a minority. I would be afraid.
Oh yeah, dude, I'd be afraid even as a white guy. Like, these people are fucking ravenous. Like even in my somewhat progressive area of the South, like, you know, people still fucking hate black people. Like, if you're friends with black people in middle school and high school and stuff, people will literally call you like an N-word lover and like not associate with you because you're like friends with a black person. Like,
God, that's fucking
these are like
crazy.
High school kids we're talking about here. Like, it goes deep in the South, man. Like, people fucking hate black people.
I fucking hate the South. Like, luckily, like Florida, you know, you got a lot of like just like a lot of like people. Like I have a lot of Hispanics. I live in my area. Like, you know, like there's more Hispanics in my area than like white people. But like still, like those the ones that are out and about, dude, they are racist as fuck. It is horrible.
That's Florida for you, man.
Yeah, I can't wait to fucking get the fuck out the South.
Yeah,
no cap.
Straight to fucking wherever. Portland, I guess. That's where all the anarchists are, apparently.
Yeah,
so.
that's where
the Antifa terrorists.
Antifa headquarters, Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, I can't wait to get recruited by Antifa so I can go and fight fucking ISIS in Syria.
Wait, recruited? Dude, what do you think you're on this podcast for?
Yeah, I'm already the head of Antifa.
God,
I am Antifa.
We had an ARG on this podcast like a while ago. We stopped doing it, and we had an episode about it a couple episodes back. But God, we had to stop doing it because it was too close to real life. And as the day goes by, it's more and more like the ARG that we had planned.
Unironically. Like quite literally, this shit like going on or in Portland and stuff was unironically our exact like storyline for our ARG. Like we were gonna go into like all the state police
like, and it was gonna be edgy, and it was gonna be fucking like kill the fucking cops and shit like that. Like
it was gonna be unimaginable for normal people. You know, normal people were gonna be like, "Wow, that's such a fucked up thing to say." Like such, and then nowadays, like everyone's
like
fucking
horrible
saying it. Totally
imagery.
normal.
Like fucking some crazy shit.
We thought we were on like the cutting edge. We're like,
we're like, God, it's gonna be so good.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna realize how shitty cops are. Everyone's gonna come to our side. God, man, how right
then
and
2020
wrong we were.
Then 2020 happened.
I mean, I guess we were still right though.
If you want to like listen to like or like hear where we tried doing it, we posted a lot of shit on Patreon. So obviously, so did our Patreon if you want to see that shit. But you can go back into those episodes. 10 through 15 were the ones. So if you want to try to find this or go back to the episode we talked about it.
Did you release those videos of us? Do you remember?
No, I still have. I only have one. I don't have the other one.
Do I have it?
Maybe. I don't know. I know I have one though. I haven't posted on Patreon yet though.
We really need to, because that was very interesting. Like, we recorded videos at the time when we were making the ARG. I don't even think we talked about this. And we talked because we were actually genuinely worried at the time.
Yeah, we would get like in legal trouble.
Was going to get us in trouble legally, right? Because like we were saying some really edgy shit, like, you know, literally kill cops and like fucking execute people in the streets, you know, shit like that. And like we were worried, so we recorded videos basically to prove that we weren't really like recruiting people to a fucking like terrorist group, you know. We were trying to say like, oh, this is all like a story, like here's what we're doing, and like,
we're in character.
Everything. And we really need to release those videos because it's very much.
Fuck. I wish I organized way back.
Yeah,
my shit.
Maybe after this episode we can try to find it.
Maybe we can find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't. Basically, going back to what we're talking about, I don't know how these people can exist in such a dense area, and like it worries me that like there's a lot of communities that think like this. And if I want my communist utopian society, like I'm gonna have to remove these people.
You have to deal with these people somehow. Like, what do we do about these white enclaves?
These
white supremacists.
Yeah, I feel like it's a discussion, a good discussion to have, or like a long discussion you can probably have of how you deal with these people.
Yeah, what's the ethical way to? Yeah, because you can't let them do that. You can't let them get away with it. You have to do something. But I mean, you don't want to fucking storm Palm Springs, Florida, and fucking execute like a bunch of 70-year-olds because they're racist. Like you can't do that either. So like, I mean, it's hard. It's a hard problem to solve.
You shun them.
Yeah.
Shun.
Yeah, I was reading that reminds me, I was reading the penal code of the USSR because someone mentioned like this article 129 or whatever where famously Stalin like banned gay sex, which of course is horrible and we disagree with.
That's fucked up, bro. I love gay sex.
But I was reading their penal codes, and like for a bunch of crimes, they had things like crime is punishable by like 6 months in prison or public censor, which is basically another word for shame. So like an official punishment in the USSR was literally public humiliation, like ridicule. Like,
what if you like that? That was your kink,
right? If you're into it, you're like, I can't have gay sex. Oh no, I'm having gay sex right now. Shame me. That's Stalin.
Shun.
Do you think it's ethical to do that though? Do you think it's ethical to like shame people socially? Like outcast them,
like as a punishment?
If they have reprehensible beliefs?
Yeah, for sure.
I think so too. I think it's very ethical. I think it's not only ethical but required.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we do it already. Like fucking. That's why these alt-rights they have to go to the crevices of the internet because these liberal companies ban them for their fucking alt-right rhetoric.
Right. Yeah. That's why they feel so persecuted because everyone fucking hates them and hates their ideology. But that's the thing is like to an alt-right person they say like, well, we should be able to say our beliefs, and then a liberal will unironically agree with them because they're libs and
because I love freedom of speech.
Yeah, exactly. Even though freedom of speech necessitates censorship, because if you have free speech, you can't allow speech that takes away the rights of other people, or else the speech is not free for everyone. So you have, by necessity, you must censor speech in some way in order to have freedom of speech. There's no such thing as true freedom of speech. It's a myth created by Adam Smith and other fucking libs.
Yeah, and Kevin Bacon.
What do you recommend for like a minority person living in a place like Harrison, Arkansas? Like, what do you even do in this case? Do you think any black people
just
live there?
move for it? I don't know. Like. It's hard because like you're kind of stuck in that community if you're poor. Yeah. And I couldn't imagine being black in that community.
Honestly, like I would legitimately.
I would fear for my life every day.
Like actually, like really, because like everyone hates you and like you have nowhere to go, no one to turn to. It's so fucked up, actually.
Yeah, it's definitely fucked up. I don't know. Yeah. It's an interesting conversation to have how to remove these people in a perfect society, a communist utopia.
Right. Yeah, what's the moral way to deal with it? It's a conversation we could spend hours having, and maybe we should someday, but not on this episode. Speaking of places, having nowhere to go and no land and stuff like that, I recently heard you mention that the Supreme Court basically said, "Oh, by the way, Oklahoma, like half of that shit is not even ours; it belongs to the Native Americans," which is amazing.
Yeah, I want to talk about how this came to be. So apparently, a Native American guy raped someone who like an underage woman, and the reason why this happened is he was saying, "You can't charge me by the federal law because this is actually supposed to be tribal land, so I'm actually supposed to be put up against the tribal court."
Really?
And tried by the laws of the tribe.
And he actually won that.
And he won. Yeah, they won.
I didn't know the background of it. That's crazy.
Half of Oklahoma is now part of Indian, and I think it's split up into like three different types of tribes.
Like tribes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. I didn't know the backstory about it. It must feel kind of bittersweet for like Native Americans
yeah.
to win their land back this way, because of course it's fucked up that we stole the land in the first place. But to win it back in a fucking rape case must feel pretty bad.
Yeah, and it's because we fucking promised these Native American tribes the lands, like, hey, we're gonna give you these lands, but manifest destiny, man. We just broke all those promises, and the Supreme Court, thinks that the fucking United States should hold up to its promises, and I for one agree.
Yes, I 100% agree as well. And I don't want to have a super long conversation about it, so we can kind of cut it short. Maybe we can do a video about it or something. But I wanted to ask you about parallels kind of between like Israel and America. And I know you're not like super into Israel, so let me explain.
Okay.
You know how like Israel is like the people who came to Israel stole it from Palestinians, right? Like you at least know this basic aspect. Most people like know like the basic part of it.
Yeah.
Israel came like around World War II, basically stole Palestine and put all the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip in the West Bank. And there's questions from people that are saying like, well, what do you do to solve this issue? Like, do you kick out the Israelis? Like, because right now people living in Israel, like they've been living there for generations. They're not the ones who are responsible for genociding Palestinians and for pushing them into the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, right? So it seems kind of weird and immoral to say like, oh yeah, those people need to be extricated from the area because they don't deserve it. Because those people are they're children of people that did the crimes. Exactly. And I feel the same way about Native Americans, and I'm curious if you do as well, because I feel like having lived in America, like in Tennessee, there are tribal lands around me. Like my university is built on tribal lands, and like it's very strange to me because in my mind I'm like, imperialism sucks ass, fuck America. But at the same time I'm like, what if the Native Americans seriously did like rise up against us? Like what would I say to defend myself? Like why would I have the right to live here? And I guess no one has the right to live anywhere, but like I wouldn't want to leave, Yeah.
I mean, so apparently how it's happening in Oklahoma, since there is U.S. residents living on these tribal, now claimed tribal lives, right? So basically, what I believe is when I read the article is that these people who are now in tribal land is now have to follow the tribal laws instead of federal laws, and I think that they might not have to pay taxes anymore, like federal taxes.
Wow.
So it's pretty fucking good if you live there now.
Yeah, well, good in some sense, bad in others, because like there are certain protections.
I don't know anything about tribal law, so
yeah, like there are certain protections that you get by being a U.S. citizen that you don't necessarily get by living on tribal lands as well. So it's a give and take, but probably it is good overall.
So if you're an Oklahoman living in tribal land, your life's probably not going to change much.
No, probably not.
No one's going to come to your house and like scalp you or something like that.
Do you think that it's better for Native Americans at this point in 2020? I'm not talking about back when we came and invaded them and raped them and killed them all. Like that's obviously bad. But like now in 2020, is it better for Native Americans to exist in enclaves and reservations, or do you think it would be better for us eventually to completely integrate everyone into our society?
I mean, that's what we did back in the day. We tried to assimilate the Native Americans to American
culture. Yeah, but we did that
right?
because we were bad. We did it in a bad way, though. We tried to brainwash them. I'm talking about, like, them joining us voluntarily. Like, do you think that's a possibility, or, like
no,
is that
I don't know. It would be really hard because the, like, tribal, the Native American culture, right, is, like, very tied to the lands, right? And like it would be lots of conflicts with how we run our government. I believe it's like we don't fucking care about the land.
Right. It would basically have to be a totally different government, a totally different. Like I'm imagining a communist government utopia, basically.
Yeah, it would be like
we could integrate.
It'd be like the Native Americans, like the Democrats are like. I don't think the Native Americans are like that big because we fucking killed them all. So like. In this like hypothetical, right, it'd be like the Native Americans and like the Democrats and Republicans that would have to join forces to fucking make sure the American values stay true. You know what I mean? Like
exactly, because Native Americans aren't going to suddenly become like bloodthirsty capitalists. Like they're literally their way of life is antithetical to that sort of way of living. So, I guess like in the imaginary future maybe we could integrate, but we'd have to be totally a different society altogether.
So another thing that's happening though, or it has happened already, Herman Cain passed away, and the Turning Point USA founder dies of corona, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking... Herman Cain literally was murdered by Donald Trump. Literally murdered.
Actually. Well, I don't know. I would consider it self-inflicted, though. I mean, he literally, like, he was suckling Donald Trump's cock, and literally the day on his deathbed, his staff was tweeting about how masks aren't effective and like coronavirus is a hoax. And then
as Herman Cain's like dying.
Yeah, as he's drawing his last fucking breath and his organs are shutting down.
I hope it was worth it.
Yeah, exactly, man. And honestly, like, I don't shed a single tear for these fucking morons. Like, yeah, it's sad that a human being died, but like, this is Schadenfreude at its fucking best. Like, these people are self-inflicting these wounds. And like, as a Marxist, I have to say, like, of course they're brainwashed, and you know, my heart breaks for them. But at the same time, like, what a fucking moron. Yeah, they deleted that tweet, by the way, about him saying it was a hoax. After he died, they deleted it. God, so obviously they know that it's a fucking dumb thing to say.
I don't know why, and. In a way, I'm glad that a lot of these fucking conservatives and Republicans are fucking dying because they're so fucking brain dead and their brains are so smooth that it's fucking dripping out of their fucking ear.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're fucking dying because like they're lying to these people. They're coming up with bullshit and they just don't fucking care. Like they don't think this shit's real, and that's why we're still in phase 1 of coronavirus while everyone else is in phase 3, right?
Fucking chickens coming home to roost, as far as I'm concerned. And any fucking liberal who tries to make me shed a tear for these ghouls can literally suck my entire ass and cock. Like, I do not give a shit. These people could all die and I would not care. Like, actually, I would be celebrating. I would literally dance on Herman Cain's fucking grave. He's a worthless scum human being. Like, he could have been saved, and I'm sad that he wasn't. But but his actions cannot be excused. Like, I don't care. Fuck that guy.
Finally, social distancing from 6 feet underground.
It's the first time Herman Cain was willing to social distance. Yeah, but what about the Turning Point guy, man? I heard basically the same shit about like them tweeting about everything, being fake and how it's all liberal propaganda.
Yeah, Turning Point.
Yeah, and then he died.
Basically, they love to just talk shit about like liberals and shit. You know, like you've probably seen some Turning Point USA fucking some shit.
Toilet paper USA.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I saw Charlie Kirk talking about how he was so like sad and crying over his boss's death, and talking about how it's insane to me how people are making fun of a human being. My boss was a human being that died, and people were like linking all the shit that he had said about fucking coronavirus, how it was all a hoax, just shitting all over him. Fucking moron, man. Good. For real. I wonder how like this will change. Like maybe they might stop shitting on corona, like, you know, saying corona isn't real now. Of course not.
Probably not.
No. Remember when before like this was
these
hot
fucking alt-right
grifters,
grifters,
Yeah, for real. This was a hot topic for us like in our early episodes because the world had not devolved into what it is now. We would often say things like, "Oh, it's only a matter of time until like it's affecting them." And then they'll have no choice but to consult reality and realize the error of their ways. Oh, how wrong we were, man. These people are literally dropping like flies and they're still suckling Donald Trump's cock. It's insane.
We did, we call, like, if you listen to this podcast, we call this shit. Like, we know what's going on. We wrote the fucking script, bro. We wrote the script.
Yes, sir.
And it was only a matter of time since these Republican fucking idiots, like, just fucking died from their own stupidity. And, you know, it's gonna get worse in December and in the cold years, in the winter.
Yep.
Will the United States survive the winter? Who knows?
Nope, we don't know. And a lot of kids went to school today. My school district from when I was like living in Middle Tennessee, today they went back to school. So,
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, there was some new research today that came out where some people were insinuating that perhaps because before, I don't know if you've heard this news that children like don't spread coronavirus as much as adults. That was like generally the theory that people had accepted for a while. That like children can still get it, but in general they don't take a lot of damage from it. They don't usually transmit it to that many people. That apparently that is potentially entirely incorrect, by the way. There's a new study out that shows that actually children are far more likely to spread the disease. And of course,
because children are disgusting, dude.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking.
They're disgusting, dude.
It's totally intuitive.
They lick the floor. They eat gum from like under tables and shit. Yes. Like they're like runny fucking noses. Like disgusting sticky hands constantly
with children or teenage people. Like, they're disgusting animals. They do not fucking take care of their hygiene at all.
I mean, I just scratch my balls and sniff it, just to check, like, fucking
just
disgusting.
Make sure it's still good, man.
Yeah. Still fresh.
Yeah.
God,
man, 150,000 people dead, man. Like, it's crazy. I love this Reddit comparison between like 9/11s. People are like, oh, there's 60 9/11s or whatever. It's so funny. It reminds me of like when Americans like, oh, it's 2 football fields away. I'm like, just say fucking how many feet it is, you dumb fuck. I don't know how many football. I don't know how long a football field is.
Some people are fucking triggered that like, I can't believe you compare these corona deaths to something like 9/11.
Yeah,
like
totally. Even though it's a great comparison because libs aren't ready for it, but 9/11 was a totally preventable fucking tragedy that should not have happened. It didn't have to happen, just like coronavirus. People aren't ready for that fucking take, but whatever. Sure, bro. You can at me on Twitter.
You're too fucking
thanks.
Too big brain. Yeah, and coronavirus, it's happening. It's gonna get worse in winter. Are we gonna survive it? We just had millions of people getting evicted from their homes this month. And our government has failed. They have failed to bring any any help to these people. But I don't know how true that is because I know Donald Trump had a speech today. I don't know what he proclaimed. It might have been some shit. Do you know? Did you hear about? He had a speech today. Did you see any of that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. But considering I didn't see anything in the news about it. Since it was like earlier, it was like August 3rd, like in the noon. I'm sure he probably didn't. But yeah, the government has failed.
Hold on, cut this part out. I remember now. Yeah, I did hear about this news thing that he was on. He was talking, basically going off about fucking mail-in voting the whole time. Literally like talking constantly about how mail-in voting is totally like unreliable and the election's going to be garbage and not fair. What do you think about mail-in voting, by the way? Like, why is it that suddenly it's so unreliable, and do you think it is unreliable?
I mean, I've never like had any problems with the USPS, only that it just takes forever to fucking get my mail. But Donald Trump is actively trying to make this shit worse. And I worry that he's going to use this he's going to use it to say, like, the election, I actually won if you look at the mail-in ballots, so I'm just going to coup. So it's mine.
A lot of people have talked about him potentially not accepting the results of the election. Do you think about that? We talked about this over a year ago. Yeah, probably.
We talked about this. I think we might have talked about it last podcast episode. Yeah. We definitely had multiple discussions. As we said before. Yeah,
I don't think it's possible. Yeah, I don't think it's possible.
I don't think the military's going to go against the United States. Yeah,
right, exactly. And there's no, like, constitutionally speaking, of course, I don't give a shit about the Constitution, but if you do, like, there's no way to stay in office because the Constitution doesn't allow it. There's no way to do it because the election always falls on the same day and there's no way to delay it no matter what. So there is no way legally for him to delay the election. There is no way for him to stay in office without like a military coup. So I just think it's extremely unlikely.
I don't think our military is going to turn.
Red herring, if I'm honest. It's kind of the thing that I've noticed a lot among like Biden supporters who are like, rightfully so, they're very upset about everything that's going on. But I think that they're very like nervous because of what happened in 2016. They're very nervous that we're going to fail again. And they just can't like comprehend the reality of like, holy shit, Donald Trump.
Another president. Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely fucking one of those fucking libs worried about Donald Trump being in the fucking presidential seat again.
Yeah, I'm not so worried about it. I'm more worried about if Donald Trump wins and also the Senate and House don't win. I think, like, as far as I'm concerned, if Donald Trump wins another term, as long as the Democrats have a comfortable majority in both houses of Congress, I wouldn't mind another term from Trump. Obviously, I don't want it, but I wouldn't mind it because he wouldn't be able to do anything. I think the most dangerous thing would be if he won and also the Republicans maintain a majority and or gain a majority in both houses. That would be
if Donald Trump wins again. I just couldn't accept it anymore, dude. I wouldn't be able to accept reality anymore, and I would have to depart from this one.
Take fucking too many psychedelics and just leave this universe.
Yeah, for real.
Trying to have a heat death of my brain.
Yeah, but God, millions of people, like we need Mal now more than ever. We need Mal. Millions of people got evicted, or getting evicted. And you said you were talking to me. You said you saw like way more homeless people on the street than factory new homeless. You said.
Yeah, Lily and I were having this conversation. My girlfriend and I were driving to the store earlier today. It's for groceries and stuff. Mm-hmm. And like she just casually mentioned how many more homeless people she was seeing, and I was like, and I kind of never really thought about it. I was like, you know what, you're right. Like I looked around, there's literally like homeless people littering the streets, like in Knoxville. It's a big city, but it's very spread apart. And so most of the time you see like one or two homeless people, but that's it. As we're driving down the road, there's literally homeless people everywhere, like on sidewalks, on the side of the fucking road, just in the middle of the road, like of the middle of the fucking road, and parking lots and stuff. And I have definitely anecdotally seen a lot more homeless people. I know personally, our friend got evicted less than a couple months ago from his apartment right across the street from me. I can't pay rent this month. I had to call my landlord, which, by the way, I'll tell that story. I had my girlfriend call actually because she's a female and I wanted our landlord to take pity on her, and he did. So basically, we asked him if we could not pay this month. And he said, and because we haven't missed a single payment, we've never been late. We have been in this apartment for over a year, and we just re-signed a full year-long lease, and we're planning on re-signing again next year. And we told him all that, and we're like, is there any way you can cut us a deal, like reduce our rent just a little bit, or like, give us more time to pay or whatever? And he's like, yeah, sure, you can pay next month. Just pay double rent next month. I'm like, are you fucking... I mean, like,
when I heard this the first time, I laughed so much. I was like, oh, it's like, nice. He's you don't have to pay this month. It's like, yeah double. I was like, where are you the fuck gonna get double rent, dude?
Exactly. I'm like, if I can't afford it now, how the fuck am I gonna afford it later? And luckily, he doesn't know this, and I would never tell him this, but like, I will be able to afford it because of student loans. But like, I can't imagine what it would be like to be a person that doesn't have access to that kind of stuff. Like, what would I do? I would legitimately be homeless. I don't have money. I have no job. I would actually
imagine if you couldn't get any loan money, which a lot of people can't. You get shitty credit scores. Yeah,
surely.
Fuck, dude,
I don't know. I don't know what to say. What do you think, like, the consequences of this? I mean, this is legitimately unprecedented. Like, we're talking about over 40% of people who are renting properties to live in are being evicted. That's somewhere in the range of 40 to 60 million people, David.
Yeah, I know in my state, 51% of renters were getting evicted.
Yeah,
51. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that's such an insane number to think about. Even like, I think you jokingly said like, oh, that's enough people to take over the government. But like, unironically though, it actually is like 40 million people. Imagine,
like, what has the government done for these people?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
They delayed. They talk about the GOP just delaying. Talks about how they want to give more money to the Pentagon, and we have senators who have already left the Capitol. Like, they've already left.
They're going on a fucking recess. What is this? At the height of the fucking coronavirus, the most cases per day that we've ever seen in this country, the most evictions in the history of the world, the greatest drop in GDP, by the way, since our last episode came out. 33% shrink in GDP for the U.S. economy. That is over 5 times as bad as the 2008 recession. And if you combine the GDP shrinkage from 2008 and from the Great Depression, if you combine them, it's still less than the contraction that we experienced in the last quarter of 2020. Like, that's the level of economic turmoil we're talking about here.
Yeah,
the United States has never seen this before.
Yeah, and the reason why like poor people are even able to exist still was because of unemployment.
The one time $1,200 payment and the unemployment.
Yeah,
and that's gone.
which unemployment's now gone, and it makes no sense. Like these areas that are being affected are primarily like red states that are being affected the most. And like, wouldn't you think it'd be a better move from Donald Trump to just like, all right, let's we're gonna keep the 600 for like another month, just to delay even further, but not even that.
Not only would it be a great move, like it could like we mentioned this before, he could win all 50 states if he just instituted like a temporary
UBI.
Yeah, like a temporary $1,000 a month payment to every adult would literally win him at all 50 states in a landslide victory for him. And it would be so easy, and everyone would love it, and everyone would support it, and it would be that
Andrew
easy
Yang
for
would
him.
come in his pants.
Yeah, for sure. And like this is why I have very little like concern about him winning another term, is because if he's too stupid to even realize that, like how the fuck is he gonna beat someone like Joe Biden who has so much media backing behind him? Like it just seems insurmountable. But again, like people said the same thing about Hillary in 2016, so I could be totally wrong here. But like my heart's telling me like Joe's got it in the bag just because of how fucking moronic.
Yeah, it's literally money in the bag for Joey.
Yeah, he's literally just cruising until January when he gets to.
Yeah, he's literally waiting. Yeah, and eventually, hopefully, he'll tell us who his VP is going to be.
Dude, he's literally going to be busting fat and nuts in the Oval Office, like in front of the fucking desk, man.
He's going to cum hard.
Which I definitely would. I would literally like be fucking in the Oval Office.
My first order of business is cumming all over the desk.
Seriously, literally, I would be doing lines off of fucking hookers' asses on the fucking White House lawn. Like, actually, though.
Jeez. Jesus. Cut that one out too. But yeah, it's crazy that we live in a society that'll allow this. You know, what's the point of fucking living in a society if not to make your citizens like have a good life? You know,
right.
Well, like, what are we striving towards as like
their citizens?
What are we striving for? You know, in this country.
Yeah.
Like, where are we going?
What is our moral barometer?
It's fucked. And my heart goes out to all the people who are affected by getting evicted. Yeah,
like I said, I seriously can't imagine what I would do in this situation. And like, it seriously keeps me up at night. Like, I don't know what I can do. Like, I know I'm one person. I can't like save 40 million people from getting evicted.
Yeah.
But I feel just so helpless. Like, I feel like there's so much that I want to do to help people that I just can't because I'm fucking poor, just like them.
Yeah, bro.
You know?
I mean, right now we're doing like, what I would say is like, we're helping in a way. We're educating people. I like to think on our views.
Yeah, agitprop.
Yeah, we are obviously targeting people who live in the South. So if you're like a person who's on the edge, who might consider themselves a centrist or a former conservative and is like, trying to get a taste of that leftism, you're in the right place.
Exactly.
And we welcome you with open arms.
As much as I shit talk like centrists and libs and stuff, like if that describes you and you're having doubts and second thoughts, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people who are very stalwart in their beliefs. Like if you're having doubts, this is definitely a safe space for you. You know,
yes.
Like you can ask questions and doubt us and doubt yourself. And I'm happy to like learn with you and learn together about it, because that's what it is. We're all learning. We're all trying to figure our fucking lives out and trying to make it.
Yeah, we've been talking about the leftist manifesto, the Left in the South manifesto for a while, about recording it, but we'll record it one day.
It's a pretty big undertaking. I kind of realized. I didn't even tell you this, by the way, but I might as well mention it on the pod. I tried to make a political compass video because I was like, as a kind of test run for like that idea. I was just gonna do it just by myself and do like a short version of it. But I tried to record it and it was over an hour long. And it was only like 30 questions. And I was thinking, like, when I first imagined this manifesto episode that we were going to do, I was thinking, like, oh, bro, this is going to be like 300 metaphorical scenarios that we all talk about. And we go through everything about all the different philosophical reasons.
I mean, we could do multiple episodes. We can have a
we could.
Multi-episode manifesto. It doesn't have to be one episode.
Yeah. Whenever content starts to run dry.
For real. But so
that's
far.
coming soon.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to talk about is Homeland Security secretizing Antifa to foreign powers.
I love this story so much.
You were laughing a lot. Go ahead.
So I am a huge fan of this podcast called True Anon, hosted by these people Liz and Brace. And you may have heard of Brace from like Chapo Traphouse, or just, I mean, he's a famous guy just outside of his podcast as well. He's a political activist who literally went to Syria at the height of the Syrian, like the war that's going on in Syria, and fought with the YPG against ISIS, which is like a Marxist, anarchist, like communist freedom fighting insurgency group, where he unironically went there and was injected with steroids, trained how to become a fucking soldier, given an AK, and then he fucking drove as a gunner on a tank while they took over a city in Syria from ISIS and like slaughtered ISIS fucking militants and saved civilians from ISIS. Like, this guy is Jesus a fucking Christ, badass.
Dude. Yeah, that is the most badass shit I ever did.
Yeah, and apparently, according to this article that David's talking about, he's being investigated by Homeland Security because of his ties to Antifa. As if he's fucking Antifa. This guy is a clown. His name on Twitter is literally Piss Pig Granddad. And these guys are trying to act like this guy is some kind of fucking criminal Antifa fucking
Antifa leader, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
I can't imagine being him, man. I would be smiling so hard while I was reading that article. And then the realization would suddenly dawn on me that the US government could literally just assassinate me at any moment.
Yeah, for real. They're about to tie a left and the south to Antifa soon.
Yeah, for real.
Antifa podcast.
Do you know, like, are you familiar with what Antifa is, Dave? Because a lot of people aren't. Like, they don't really know what it is at all. Like, it's not an organization.
Fascist. But they hate the commies, bro.
Right.
They hate the commies and they hate the Nazis.
Yeah. And Antifa is not an organization, like, because that implies that there are like leaders and there's a structure and like they have an agenda. Like, that is not the case. It's a general term for people who are anti-fascist. It has nothing to do with because communists can be Antifa, but also anarchists can be Antifa. And I don't know if you know this, but communists and anarchists tend to disagree a lot, especially online. And so to imply that Brace Belden, a fucking outward Marxist-Leninist who literally fought in a Marxist-Leninist militia, to imply that he's part of an anarchist group is really fucking hilarious to me. Yeah, so go check out the Nation's article about it. It's really funny. Yeah, and he even gives a quote in the article, which I thought was really funny. He says, "I am not now, nor have I ever been, a member of any Antifa organization. The U.S. government has been spying on and smearing communists for 100 years, but they usually have the decency not to call a communist an anarchist." Which is so funny.
It's so funny.
Such a boss, man.
Yeah,
everyone should go listen to True Anon, by the way. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, you're fine,
I want to plug it. Yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about too is it's so funny, like the organized the Antifa, right? The alt right and the alt left, right? It's something I want to talk about. So the alt right, we know what the alt right wants, right? They want a fucking white ethno state. They're fucking Nazis, right? And what is the alt left want? What does Antifa want? What? Medicare for all. Exactly. Medicare for all. Fucking they don't
abolishing capitalism, the system responsible for a countless amount of suffering and death.
They want to pick the workers up. They want
raise the living standard of most people.
Yeah, it's so funny, and we're having
to compare them is hilariously asinine. Yeah.
It's insane.
But what do you think? Would you join Antifa, David? would you join Antifa as a military armed fucking militia supporter?
I'm already in Antifa.
Yeah, give me the call.
How do you think this Patreons are being funded, dude? I think we're paying for these ads, these giveaways.
Yeah. How do you think I got
George Soros, baby?
You think I can't afford rent, but I can afford a microphone? That's amazing my head, man.
They don't know, dude. They don't know the paper trail. The paper trail is.
David, wait. My Antifa connection is telling us we should cut this out. We should stop. Okay.
And with that, thank you for listening to the episode 28 of the Left in the South podcast. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.